And I want to know, and this might be a bit lazy, but who makes bone broth at like in the middle of the night, overnight, boiling while you're sleeping? Like,
so we're talking Sleep today, South Korean black comedy horror mystery thriller. Wow, that's a lot of genres. Written and directed by Jason Yu in his feature debut. It is out already. It was at Raindance. We didn't catch it at Raindance at the time, but we've caught up on it recently thanks to a screener that we got sent.
I think we're a little behind on our Rain Dance coverage because it just kind of came out of nowhere and we're like, yes, see everything, and then life catches up with us.
I know, yeah, life definitely got in the way. So this stars somebody that was in Parasite, which we loved. It's Lee Sun-kyun, who was in Parasite. I think he died last year, December 2023 actually. So yeah, very sad story. I was going through a really tough time. So yeah, it's a really sad end to what was a really promising career, and I think this was one of the last films that he made.
Which character do you play?
So he plays the main character, the husband.
Oh, wow. That's interesting considering the storyline.
So it's a pregnant wife. She becomes worried about her husband's sleeping habits. What starts out as some light sleep talking soon escalates to grotesque behaviour unexpectedly. They consult a sleep clinic without success, and as his nightmarish behaviour escalates, they desperately seek help from a shaman. She was my favourite character in this. The shaman was just so brilliant and added real comedy to this.
Yeah, and the mother who hired the shaman too. Like, they're both wacky doodle, but made sense, you know.
Before turning it into a nightmare, Jason Yu was inspired by the moments when he was preparing to marry his girlfriend of 7 years. So that's, you know, where it all comes from, the story and the idea for it. When he was writing, he wanted to make it quite a fun movie. It is still a fun movie, but I think there's more of a horror element to it than what was initially, you know, the idea to begin with. His subject at the time of the marriage was marriage, but then he wanted to talk about married life. And I suppose the problems that come with that are reflected in this a little bit. You know, sleeping with somebody who snores and, you know, keeps you up all night is a bit of a problem for some people. I've got to say, I did like the look of this, and I think I liked the first half more than I did where it was going at the end.
I think that you're expecting me to full on hate this movie, but I actually didn't have any problems with it. I just thought it was very, very middle of the road for me. Like, it kept my interest, you know, and I think the fact that they broke it up into chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, like, it felt like you had a moment to breathe a little bit in between the storytelling, you know, especially, which is great when you're watching it on demand too, because you can get easily distracted. So
yeah,
the fact that, like, oh, chapters came up, I can pause for a second and come back to this when I need to. It's kind of like creeped out by the whole thing, but it wasn't really scary.
No, I wasn't actually creeped out either, but I don't know whether that's because I've seen something similar to this that's been done in a more creepy way, or whether I was just more engaged by the comedy, because I think I like the comedy more than I did the horror elements. So I think I probably would have enjoyed it more if it was more leaning towards the comedy in a kind of slapstick way, more over the top way, than reining it back to make it more creepy when it really wasn't. Maybe and
it tries to do the whole twisty thing at the end as well. And
yeah,
I enjoyed the movie. Would I watch it again? No. Would I add it to my Blu-ray collection? No. But I enjoyed the movie for what it was. It was just a very simple horror. Kudos that it got our attention, because a lot of Asian movies don't. So the fact that both you and I were kind of interested in it, you know, is it The Ring? No. Is it like the next big like thing to come out of Asia? No. But it was a decent enough movie for me, but a little middle of the road.
I wasn't disappointed by any means, but I just think the end was a little bit of an anticlimax, because you know, till 3/4 of it in, I did enjoy what was being presented. So I think it was more the end just fell a bit flat for me.
I don't think it fell flat for me. It's just like, okay, well, you know, there's kind of an open-ended question mark on what's happening. But trigger alert, if you are disgruntled by the fact that there might be some animal cruelty in here, you know, there is, but it isn't explicit. But yeah.
Yeah, normally I have a real issue with that, obviously. I mean, you could probably guess that I do have a problem. I mean, we saw a film, God, I can't remember, maybe a year ago, The Innocents, I think it was called. I think it was Swedish, and there was a cat cat scene which was really disturbing, and you kind of see the torture, and this you don't so much. So I don't think it's as bad as The Innocents, but yeah,
it's almost comedic.
I think, you know, when animals are used as part of a horror mechanic, I do think that's a bit lazy, because it does make everyone that is an animal lover, and we're animal lovers, it does make you recoil, and that's the point, isn't it? But I just think it's a bit of a lazy trick sometimes with horror.
And I want to know, and this might be a bit lazy, but who makes bone broth at, like, in the middle of the night, overnight, boiling while you're sleeping? Like,
that's a good point. I think that's a good
kind
question.
of like a loophole, but, you know, when she takes the pan and bonks the guy in the head with it, I was like, ooh. The stove just could have been, the pan just could have been sitting on the stove. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Who makes bone broth on full boil?
So it's called Sleep. I think it is out. It's been out for a few weeks. You could probably catch it at some cinema screenings. Maybe it's on a limited release. But yeah, it's called Sleep. Let us know what you think of it if you are going to watch it. We're going to go for a star rating.
I'm going to give it a generous 3, actually.
Yeah, I'm going for the same. I didn't dislike it. I just felt a little bit disappointed by the final act.
I think we're both in agreement. Pretty average horror movie, but with some comedic elements.
Yeah, which is great. You know, I love a bit of comedy, because it does make it, you know, I think there's a lot in life to laugh at when stuff does go wrong, because obviously this touches on things that do go wrong, and I think that's fine. I think that's quite relatable. And also, it's Jason Yu's feature debut, so, you know, I'm kind of keen to see where he goes next.
You gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's a strong enough looking film. So let us know what you think, and leave a comment down below. Check out the details and check out the review that we've got on the screen at the moment, and I'll see you next time, Raj.